When the air turns crisp and the leaves start to fall, there's only one thing that you need: a slice of homemade apple spice cake with brown sugar frosting. Cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves makes every bite taste like a cozy fall hug. One slice won't be enough. Apple spice cake with a brown sugar frosting, fresh from the oven. This recipe is super easy, and you make it with just simple staple ingredients that you probably already have in your kitchen. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button and hit those notifications so that you get all of our recipes as they post. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. It's wonderful to see you back here. Now, let's get into some Simply Southern grub. To start this apple spice cake, you're going to need to get two 9-inch cake pans. Now, I have greased these with a little bit of Pam. You can use any type of neutral oil, or you could even use butter. I also lined mine with some parchment paper, and I'm going to dust them with a little bit of cinnamon and sugar. You can dust it with flour if you want to, that's fine too. But for the apple spice cake, just adding a little bit more of those warm spices, it ain't going to hurt. Just give it a really good sprinkle, and then you'll set these pans off to the side. Preheat that oven to 335 degrees, and we're going to mix our dry ingredients now. You're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. Say that fast 3 times. Now, this is a pumpkin pie spice that I made up myself instead of getting it at the grocery store. You can do either one. You can make it at home, or you can buy it at the grocery store. We're going to also need 1 teaspoon of salt. Add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and then you're just going to give this a good whisk and set it off to the side. If you are interested in the recipe for my pumpkin pie spice so that you can make your apple spice cake or whatever other holiday fall dish you want to make that calls for pumpkin spice, put me a comment down in the comments. Put me a comment down in the comments, and I'll be glad to share my recipe with you. It ain't no apple spice cake without apples. You're going to need to get 2 apples. I'm using Honeycrisp. You can use any kind of apple that you would like. I like the Honeycrisp the best in this recipe. You're going to want to peel these and cut them into small chunks, like about maybe 1 inch. This is my favorite type of peeler, whether I'm using it on apples or potatoes. It's the one that my granny used. Now, not this exact one, but this style. And it just fits in my hand perfectly. And look, guys, can you do that? Now, we're not going to put the apples in our apple spice cake this large. No, ma'am. We're going to head this over to our food processor, and we're going to cut them into very small diced pieces. Add those apples in there. Good gosh, guys, these apples smell so good. This is the size that you're looking for. You'll have some in there that may be a little bit bigger, but that will be just fine. Grab yourself a large mixing bowl, guys. Add to it 1 stick of butter. Now, this is at room temperature, and I've had it setting out all day, as you can see. And I like it a little bit softer, okay? Add 2 cups of sugar. You also need 2 eggs. Now, these are also at room temperature. A 1/2 cup of milk. And we need some sour cream, guys. When I make cakes, I almost always add sour cream. And the reason that I do is it just brings so much moisture to that cake. So, 1/2 cup going in. You can't bake nothing down south here without some vanilla. So we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then we're going to give this all a good mix until that butter gets incorporated with all of those sugars and those sugars get dissolved. It's time to add those dry ingredients. And guys, that pumpkin spice, it smells like fall, y'all. We're going to now add in our apples and we're going to give this a quick fold. But before we do, we also want to add 1 cup of roasted walnuts. Now, guys, if you're going to be putting nuts in anything, make sure that you roast them first. It will bring out so much more flavor. It brings out the oils in the nuts. You like nuts? I'm crazy about nuts. I kind of resemble that remark. I'm a bit nutty. Next, and the last step before we put these babies in the oven is you'll add your batter. Add half of it to one of your pans and half to the other. Now, guys, if you're wondering about these straps that I have around my cake pans, these are to keep the cake, supposed to keep the cake from doming. I've used them in the past. I think they do help some. They're kind of a pain in the tush, but I think they help some. We'll see if it works for these. Spread your batter out as evenly as you can. I always give mine a little shake too. Shake it up. I think it helps it level. These are going in the oven. Again, that's at 335. And guys, if you're scratching your head about that 335, I bake my cakes at a lower temperature. It does take them just a little bit longer to bake, but it also helps them to not get that dome and it keeps them from cracking. So we'll see how it works for these. You're going to bake this for approximately 40 to 50 minutes until it passes the cake test. Our apple spice cakes are out of the oven and this house smells delightful. They are beautiful. You can see even on the top here. Come on over. The little pieces of apple here, guys, these are going to be delicious. We're going to let them cool for about 5 minutes. Then we're going to turn them out on a rack and let them completely cool. As these cool, we're going to work on a delicious brown sugar frosting with walnuts. For this delicious brown sugar frosting, we'll start with 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1 stick of butter or a half of a cup. You need 1 whole cup of confectionery sugar, 1 cup of light brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla flavoring. Guys, I just normally eyeball it. If I get a little bit more, that's okay with me. That is a bowl full of sweetness. We're going to whip this up until it's nice and creamy and those sugars are dissolved. Let's frost this apple spice cake with brown sugar frosting. We'll put the frosting in between, or what's going to be in between the layers first, and get that all spread across it. Try to do it as even as possible. We're not keeping score here, though. This is going to be so delightful. And how easy was it? This was a super easy recipe with simple ingredients that you probably have in your cupboard. Add our next layer on top and then just spread it. Just cover this baby in this frosting, the brown sugar frosting, not just any frosting. That delicious brown sugar, cream cheese, confectionery sugar, and then that pumpkin pie spice. Guys, this is going to be delightful. Got to hold that layer. She's wanting to slide just a little. Get back up there and sit up there straight. We'll start getting these sides now in this brown sugar frosting. The cake spinner does make it a lot easier than trying to turn a plate. Add some more of those roasted walnuts to the top of your cake. You can put them around the side too if you want to. I'm just doing mine on the top. How beautiful, guys. That is one beautiful cake. After you get your walnuts on, you're going to take your fingers and just lightly press them into that frosting so they stay put. Now, all this needs is a knife and a fork. I'll be right back. Sweet, slightly spicy. This is fall in every bite. Guys, I hope that you will try this in your home. Give us that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here and hit those notifications so you get all of our recipes as they post. Until next time, you guys take care and God bless. Mm, that's good stuff.